And Assemblywoman, you've been actively involved in the race to the mailbox campaign last March. And as you know, the 2010 census numbers were recently released, show individuals of Hispanic origin have increased in our city by over 14,000 since the 2000 census. And so, based on what you just said, what are your thoughts of that as the race to the mailbox campaign in March and the census numbers that just came out?
Well, I thought it was important to participate so that everyone knew how important it was to fill out the census forms. Unfortunately, there were organizations telling Latinos not to fill out the forms. To me, that was a bit irresponsible, since so much money is triggered by how many individuals we have in the city of Elizabeth. And as the mayor, you have to be I'm sure you're sensitive to that too. I think there's more Latinos in Elizabeth, maybe not all able to vote yet, but I definitely think there's more. And what I wanted to do is open my office so that individuals that had any questions could come to an office that was bilingual and could answer any of their questions that they may have that they had in filling out the form. So I thought it was important to.
And you sponsored a couple of bills during that process to keep residents informed about the census and increasing their accessibility to the forms. Were those bills helpful in your efforts, and were you able to publicize them during that time?
Well, we were able to publicize them, and I think anytime that you highlight an issue, people hear about it, listen, talk about it, and by virtue of that, act on it.
And the Come Grow With Us program, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Come Grow With Us is administered by the Groundworks Elizabeth. And we have currently 5 gardens, and they are, not me. Groundworks Elizabeth, the director Jonathan Phillips, is reviewing applications now for our next growing season. I'm pleased to announce that the Portuguese Social Instructive Club of Elizabeth will be having an event on April 8th. They will be our first hydroponic greenhouse. And what I really am excited about that program is it's going to be intergenerational. Grandparents and their grandchildren working together. And I want to really learn from their hydroponic greenhouse so that we can look at
that's growing fruits and vegetables without dirt, correct?
Yes.
It's just growing it with water and sunlight.
Yes.
That's an interesting philosophy to see how that's done.
And we're also looking at different things like Grow a Row, that we would be asking Elizabeth residents, I should say Union County residents, to grow a row of fruits and vegetables so that they could donate them to the soup kitchens or food pantries. That one we're still doing some research on how to participate and how to control. We have, Come Grow With Us has grown almost 5,000 pounds of food. And I would really love to double that.
That's phenomenal. That's absolutely terrific. Bill A-2839 provides in terms of nonprofit benefit. Why do you feel this bill is, and you're a sponsor of this bill?
Yes.
Yeah. And why do you feel this bill is in the Assembly? Why do you feel this bill is important?
Well, the thing is, there's vacant parcels. As the mayor, you know that. You're currently not making any money or tax from those parcels. And the thing is, if we can incentivize a nonprofit organization or association to use that land to actually grow food, be it fruits or vegetables, for those that need it, our most vulnerable citizens, then I think it's really a win-win. But as the mayor, what do you think about the bill?
Well, I kind of like it. I mean, I think there's a way to encourage people to grow vegetables. I think Grow in a Row is terrific. I'm hoping it gets passed because I look forward to working with you to implement that bill.
Well, yes, the A-2859 is on the governor's desk, and I'm hoping that he signs the bill also. I think it will help a lot of people, and especially in this economic times, we need to help our neighbors any way we can.
Has the governor signed any bills you sponsored yet in your young term?
Yes, he sponsors a few when I was on the Telecommunications and Utilities Committee on Energy. Okay.
Because the next thing I'm asking about is the Urban Enterprise Zone program that's been making headlines. The governor's budget address and the UEZ program assessment report. The report calls for the elimination of the New Jersey Urban Enterprise Zone Authority and the UEZ program and all of its incentives on June 30th. You represent actually 2 municipalities with UEZs, Elizabeth and Roselle, and I just wanted to get your thoughts and what do you think of this?
Well, I was disappointed.
I know what I think of it. So
well, You want to tell me first?
No, I figured I'll let you go. You're the guest on the show.
I appreciate it.
I'll let you go first.
I was disappointed. I understand that there are programs that the state may have that may not work to what someone may think they should as a goal. But before you eliminate an entire program, I really think that you have to see what are the barriers. Now, this actually happened also with the BPU and certain monies that were diverted last year. If there are monies in a certain fund, let's find out why. Is it the paperwork? Because government is so good at having bureaucratic paperwork. And the thing is all the paperwork necessary? It's so cumbersome that most people don't even bother. Now, what I thought was exciting was Elizabeth has the highest participation in the UEZ. So what did you do that, got everyone to sign up and be a part of the program? And what would you suggest for the state to do that? Because I know that one of the things in the report is that it's the businesses within the UEZ over 34,000. There's only like a 20% sign up. So what did Elizabeth do?
Well, it's interesting you asked that, and since it's my show, I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to have to go on your show to start talking about this. But, two misnomers in the report that jump out at you real quickly, and you just mentioned one of them. Saving the money in the urban enterprise zone was actually part of the way the urban enterprise zone was designed, was in order for communities to build up some reserves in the urban enterprise zone and then do some type of job creation program with that, whether it be low interest loan to a business that was going to enhance its business or hire more people or create jobs. This bit of spending all the money in one given year was never the design of the program. And if the Christie administration wanted us to spend all the money in 1 year, and that was their vision, they should have told us, and I'm sure the mayors would have done that. But that's not the way the program was designed. And the second part of the question on why do we have so many businesses, I mean, for a period, we actually had someone who was well-versed in Spanish, another person well-versed in French Creole, and another person in Portuguese who went out and knocked on doors to encourage businesses to sign up. And that was one of the reasons we were able to get the most businesses in the state signed up. And the last, that's a double answer actually, because the urban enterprise zone, and the reason a lot of people don't join is because the Corzine administration and the McGreevey administration actually changed the rules. And if you had a business that earned more than $1 million a year, you had to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork in order to get the rebate for the sales tax, and businesses get to buy goods as well. They've upped that to $10 million, but it's still not high enough. And that's one of the reasons some of these corporations had to hire a whole extra person just to deal with the paperwork, as you mentioned earlier in your comments, the paperwork necessary to be in compliance with urban enterprise zone. So they made it that much harder to access the money. And that's another one of the reasons that the money kind of sat there. And so, it's been real difficult, but the mayors are on an education process throughout these 32 cities to educate people about the benefits of urban enterprise zones.
Well, I would be interested in having a roundtable discussion with some businesses from the urban enterprise zone in Elizabeth and Roselle to find out what would they suggest as recommendations to, I would say, cut the cumbersomeness of the application and the continual reporting, because I think that's really where it's at. Once it goes out in the community that you have all this paperwork to do, people just don't want to engage.